welcome to Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9001. Not to be confused with 9000, those guys are lame. So, we don't talk about that time. Yes. Oh, good for him. Alright, so, as always, everyone should know by now, and I guess if you don't, welcome to this cringe fest of pain and agony. This is where we read shit fanfiction, and I don't mean to assume, but one of our fans had calculated it out at one point, and with a 99.96 percentage rate of it being bad, I think I can confidently make the assumption anything we read on here is going to be absolutely awful. Yeah, like 2 to 3 stories, 4 stories I think it was, that we actually, like, approved of.
So I think another 7, which we were like, this isn't good, this isn't bad, it's just not to our taste, therefore we will not label it good.
No, I think it was a lower number than that. I think maybe 7 in total.
Yeah.
But, like, there was a couple that we were like, it's not our...
It's just not our speed.
Yeah.
Listen, every once in a while we come across a deep thing.
Detroit Dark!
Yes.
Look, I don't know if anything will ever top Spydar Poison Blood, lad.
Oh yes, I forgot about Spydar Poison. In a battle to the death, who do you think would win? D-Train Dark or Spydar Poison Blood?
You know what? I'm gonna throw in the dark horse. It will be the guy who was not Artorias but was Artorias.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, you mean what's his name?
Artorias. His name was Artorias.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, like the guy, the author, as a reminder to everyone who was not here for that fiasco. So there was a Ruby fic, not labeled as a crossover, in which the author directly ripped the 4 knights from Dark Souls, put them into Ruby, and said, these are my original characters because I gave them last names.
Oh. See, but honestly, that idea does sound like something I would like to read if written by a competent author.
Okay, well, yeah, I would love to see the 4 knights in Ruby, but he, A, listed them as his original characters, and B, listed as a non-crossover. Even though they had the weapons, armor, everything.
These are my characters, guys. My OC do not steal.
Yeah, and the author was straight up just like, oh, well, they're my original characters because I gave them last names. I'm just like, dude, that's...
I mean, technically he has baptized them. So he is their father.
Ooh. I am your father. Alright. Enough dawdling. Let's get into the shit fiction. So, as always, we do have the fictions we cover listed in the Discord. And, of course, per Twitch, and whenever I actually get around to uploading this on YouTube's guidelines, YouTube, we are required to mention not to contact any of the authors featured here in these fictions, because that would be considered harassment by their guidelines. And yeah. I like the outsource the cruel rune text that's top right. Well, I mean, he's Indian, so...
I mean, it's just thematic.
Yeah.
And we all know that Athens is the real star of the show, so...
Really fits.
That's right.
Well, I mean, of course it really fits. I mean, you got my name in super low quality pixel text. You got a massive gap between Atin and Cruel Rune, because that's where Max's name normally goes, and I'm too lazy to actually make different slides. So he's actually just a panel I just apply for the to the
Yeah.
current
See, that's the thing that's great about it is, once again, it's the exact level of effort that we want people to expect from the show.
It's the exact level of effort the authors put into their stories.
I mean, to be honest, they do write more words.
What did we unearth today? Today we're starting off with a D times D worm cross called The Outsider Chronicles by Dyslexic. Now, we've covered some of his stuff previously. If it loads his profile.
Yeah.
Oh, he's deleted a bunch of his stories.
What's concerning is when we get repeat authors on accident. That's when we get concerned.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's just OCs. His profile page is just OCs.
Hey, let's
How many OCs?
do that. Is any of them named Artorias? You might want to check. And how many of them are completely overpowered? Oh, wait, no. I just saw a Bleach character that says Ho-Ho Master, and then it gave him everything else as well.
Apparently, this is a story, Resonance of the Shards. Soul Percent. It's literally a Worm Story Soul Eater cross where he gets Soul Eater powers. Of Black Star. His name's Roy Stellar Meister Red Star.
None of you can see us because you haven't coughed up enough dough for us to bother with face cams yet. But I'm twitching in anger.
Yeah, actually, Arn's right. This guy gets an immediate edge tag.
He has soya powers.
He has soy powers, yes. He drunk enough soy and now he has superpowers.
Most hairs in general.
Oh, okay, I'll drag him on in.
By the way, guys, remember, we are still taking pre-orders for the Sneaky Devil body pillow.
Yep.
You two can have an exact copy of the one that Max sent me for some godforsaken reason.
What the
I mean,
fuck
do you
did I
sleep
just join
with them?
into?
Atin's shilling out the body pillow of me.
Did you actually make that?
Yes, he actually owns it.
So it exists.
It's a
I currently
physical-
have the only copy because Max sent it to me. Why? I can't tell you.
But do you use it, though?
No, it stays on top of my closet where no one can see it.
Is it filled, or, like, is it just the covering for the pillow just lying there?
No, it's a proper body pillow.
So when somebody walks into your room, let's say, in the unlikely event that one day you have a date and they walk into your room and they look there and just find that, how would you
Okay, to
explain-
find it, they'd have to open my closet. They'd have to stand on their tippy toes, assuming
Wait, Atin, hold on. It's in your... Wait, are you telling me that to bring the body pillow out into your room, you have to come out of the closet?
No, the pillow has to come out of the closet.
So you're gay for a pillow?
No, the pillow is gay for me.
Oh,
It's not reciprocal. That's why it stays in the closet.
So, does that make Sneaky gay for you?
No,
Wait.
that's not how that
Anime,
works.
It just makes the pillow. It just makes the
I
pillow.
mean, by the transitive property of anime, he would in fact.
Yeah.
By the transient properties of
Anime.
Hold on, I'm not Japanese.
No, but the thing is, the version of you on the pillow looks like somebody mixed Seto Kaiba and Yugi, and then gave it a bandana.
Holy shit, it just keeps going. I saw Saber in there somewhere. Greg
That
Verder.
might have just been
Greg Veeder.
Percy Jackson, sort of Poseidon. Wait, no, wait. He's
Greg
got a-
Veeder, the humanoid living grail.
Hey, go
Servant
below it.
list. Skitter, Dragon, Chloe von Eisenburn, Panacea as Berserker, Jack the Ripper, Mordred
By the
as
way,
Saber.
so Fate Grand Order is like, hey, come back and play Fate Grand Order. You'll get Chloe von Eisenberg for free. I'm like, no thanks. I don't
No.
want weird, creepy 10-year-old Archer.
Anyways, moving
who's
on.
For some reason,
Percy
wearing
Jackson's the next one.
Ilya's costume.
Is this person popular? Because I have never heard this person.
What the hell did we? Are they? I'll tell you how popular their stories are once I get to the end of their OC list. Oh, good.
Hey, you're midway through it.
Now they're going into the copy paste section.
Oh boy.
Jesus! Oh my God! Okay, here we
Concept
go.
term explanation. Okay. There's some authorial advice up here that I'm pretty sure that this person has never looked at. Just copy and paste it anyway.
How many series do they cross over? All of them?
Every single.
With Worm. Everything with Worm, apparently.
I mean,
Look, I know I've said Worm is an excellent series to do crossovers with, but not that excellent.
All right. So Sneaky, you know those people who've read like one book in their life and won't ever shut up about it.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
guy's
so
like that, but with verb. Check out what his favorite stories are.
it looks like his most favorited story is around 900 favorites, 1,000 follows.
For 23 chapters.
23 chapters, 68k words. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much your word count is as long as you have a number of chapters. Because every time you ping,
Yeah,
like,
I
it
know.
puts your thing,
Yeah. Favorite stories. Let's see what we got here.
If anything by me is out there, I'm just deleting my fucking.
Oof. No, it's just.
Oh boy, it's a whole dark.
Oh God, we could just go to this favorites page if we just want to have really shit stories.
No, better than that, Sneaky. We've a process.
Okay, he's redeemed himself a little bit. He's got some good ones in here. Like Beautiful Brockton Bay, which is absolutely a hilarious story, and Hive Daughter.
Look, Sneaky, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is we have a process, and it's very scientific, and I won't have you ruining the scientific method.
Yes.
Go to the page and sort by updated. That's it.
Calvin, I have never seen a mega crossover workout. Oh,
I've never seen a multi-cross workout. Like, it just sounds like midway. Like
I think I've read maybe one.
I read a very popular one for DXD. And
Okay. Depending on your definition of crossover. Depending on your definition of crossover, sleeping with the girls might count.
What is
that? What?
No, you know what?
Okay, no, this is actually a good one. So, Sleeping with the Girls was basically the thing that started the self-insert posting craze.
What do you mean posting craze?
Like, I mean, obviously everyone thinks of self-insert dumb shit all the time, but like Sleeping with the Girls was like super popular and it got everyone else to try and post their self-insert stories. It's really old, and it's really fucking long, and every chapter is basically about the self-insert OC, falling asleep and then waking up in a new series, in the bed of one of the girls from that series. With that girl, also in the bed. No sex, it's just, he wakes up, he's now in this anime world following the anime rules, but his body doesn't. So, like, when they whip out the hammer to give you a knock on the head, it would actually, like, crush his head.
Yeah, but see, no,
you know what? That's actually kind of funny.
And no, like I said, it's super long. It got a sequel to it, but it also suffered from the multi-cross curse. It didn't finish. It is a dead story right now. At like 2+ million words, I think. It's a dead story.
That's more like, it's not really a crossover because every single chapter could be counted as its own thing, right? Like, it's not mixing and mashing multiple things from multiple series to make one.
At least it's not that giant Smash Brothers story. That's literally the longest piece of it is literally still
Is
going.
it still updating?
Yes.
It's still going. It doesn't stop. There is no breaks on that person. He wants a world record, and he's got it, and he wants to make it so big that nobody else gets it.
He's at this point, he's just going.
He's going off of pure spite at this point.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he is.
He's going for the memes.
It's the anger at this point. Hey, Zexys is here.
Yeah, I know. I noticed Zexys is here. So, anyway, point being is, this guy is going to be writing some pretty bad stories. The sneaky
I
idol.
mean,
I don't. What about the sneaky idol?
the sneaky idol.
I'm sorry, the what?
Apparently, I have a religious icon attached to me now.
Oh, Christ.
I could see a multi-cross with multiple sci-fis, like Warhammer. Okay, you guys all ready for this? Are you guys all ready for this? So, at some point, we did, in fact, in Arn's server, come up with the name, the most cliched, common, like, you know how everyone with crossovers are like, it's a Mass Effect Harry Potter crossover. Mass Potter! Harry effect!
Yes, all the stupid, boring, unoriginal, stupid people.
I don't know why they've not come up with Mary Potter yet.
But, I mean, I'm sure that's out there, my dude. But, oh no. Was it Lost? Sorry. It is 22 different. Oh, yes, here we go. Yep, found it. Alien Metroid, the anthem of Mass Effect, Halo, Star Wars, Destiny, War Trek Effect 40K, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Electric Boogaloo vs. Predator Craft 5.
What? What?
This person, dyslexic, doesn't know how to use the apostrophe.
Anyway, that's our multi-sci-fi super mega cross.
Please never write that. Please never actually sit down and write that. I will have I don't know what the laws about surrounding euthanasia in the USA are. I will find.
It's not allowed.
Damn it.
Now, many people wish it was, but that's a discussion for another
That is the best title I've ever heard. Yes. Come on, Sneaky, let's write it. Oh, wait. Hold on. Do you think we could get like a Twitch rights program and have that be the theme?
I mean,
and just let Twitch write it?
We could. I mean, we'd have to create a program for it.
I actually know a programmer who said he could.
I mean,
okay,
sure.
but Sneaky, just because we should doesn't mean we. Just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Just because we should shouldn't mean we
Just
could.
because we should definitely means we should.
Alright, but see, I would recommend this, but we need to then get the word out. We can't have just 6 people, but we can have 6 people.
Oh God, of course not. Well, the hope is we put this up on our channel and it boosts us to stupid levels of fame like Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah,
We
that's
can then
not gonna happen,
grow
but
the
even
channel
if
and
we
run it into the ground.
even if you guys get like a niche audience, the only issue is guess who the majority of writers are. It begins with an S, has a J in the middle, and ends with a W. So when they come on for your regularly programmed shows, and Sneaky does his thing.
I do things. Yes.
No, his thing, your specific thing, the one that begins with basically your uncontrollable
Thing
mouth.
where he's an asshole.
Yes.
That one.
Go on.
And we get banned.
Then we lose everyone.
Exactly, and it's square one again. I mean, it would be really.
What I'll do is I'll interrupt Twitch Rights Pokemon for the podcast twice a week, where we can look at shit fanfiction and give everyone more ideas of what to write in Twitch Rights Pokemon.
We will have yeah, that is definitely there, and also if
Sneaky does his religious thing. I mean, I am an ordained priest of Helix.
No, you goddamn aren't.
I mean,
Says
technically,
you.
is there a qualification for that?
Yeah, you praise Helix once a day.
Alright. I guess then.
Yes, but given that Helix is not a recognized religion,
I mean, it could be. You just gotta get it.
I mean, the flying spaghetti monster has ordained ministers.
Yes,
And
but
so
the flying
does the
spaghetti
fucking
monster is
Church of
actually a
Lonzo.
recognized religion.
Jedi has ordained ministers. That's...
is also a recognized religion.
Well,
Yes.
damn it, Helix will also be a recognized religion.
I'll
You
back
will
you
not
up.
blaspheme against Helix.
I will. I'll
lads,
commit all the blasphemy I please.
lads. But yeah, about the Twitch
Yes,
Lite program.
actually,
we don't have
that
to set up
is
some-
probably one of my best quotes. Thank you. I'm actually gonna pin that.
Yeah,
in the
but about the
Discord.
Twitch rights thing, you're gonna have to make it a bit gamified. Like, certain things have to be written about. Things like that will change. And it has to be a 24-hour stream, so somebody's PC will have to idle like shit.
Yeah. And that's okay. Dude, I used to idle my computer all the time. I'm cool with that.
Alright, yeah, in that case, go for it. I'll help you gamify
I would
it.
make a great envoy for the SG Nation. If you think envoy is the same as what happened in Hiroshima, I mean, yeah, I guess. Anyway, let's actually get into this story now that I've pinned that comment.
Alright, apparently, apparently bots feminism or early he'll join, and I told him to pop in a general whenever he can.
Alright. Now, that and keep a watch on general, I'll keep going. Would you make our... I guess I would. Anyway, getting reborn as the son of a notorious supervillain is an equally...
Notarius?
In an equally notarious world should have been the start of a fight to remain on the side of light. Fortunately for me, I'm the author.
This world is more shonen than he was expecting. This world is worm, may I point out.
Yes.
Shonen.
Yes, worm. Shonen. Nailed it. Well, it's really only a matter of time before I pulled out something like this.
Hey, Birdie's here.
Hello, buddy.
Hello.
This is actually one of them two ideas I came up with based around Longinus and Worm. It's actually a crossover, although Worm is the primary world. You can basically assume that most of the events in D times D won't be happening. Anyway, onwards.
It's already giving me cancer, Sneaky. How can you tolerate this?
Vodka.
Point, I should start drinking right now.
You should keep drinking.
When you start identifying as LGBT, the rainbow causes this. Oh my god. I think I pissed someone off in my last life. No, scratch that. I know I pissed someone off in my last life. What do I mean by that? Well, let me tell you a story. It all started on the day I died. Yes, it's another one of those
Birdie's trying to use one of those bots that fancy channels have.
Yeah, like that.
Me knowing how to set up bots?
Holy shit. Fuck, that's the uptime
Why,
command.
Calvin?
I used to have that on my channel. It's the only command on my channel.
Dude, I don't even know how to set up a single bot. Like, I barely got Dinebot working. Okay? I don't even have the mute function working.
I mean, that's pretty easy. Any mod can just do that.
No, on the Discord.
Oh,
With
right.
Dinebot. I don't even know how that...
Wait, aren't you like the ultra tech savvy person out of all of us?
Dude, I feel like such a boomer when it comes to Discord and Twitch bots, okay?
I'm gonna be honest, my Twitch has
Like
one-
you have a degree in network security and you can't set
Look!
it up.
Look!
I
mean,
just want to point that out.
Look! Me and software, it doesn't work out between us, okay? I tried setting up a mail server one time and the computer started spitting out information diagonally. I didn't even know we could do that, but it did.
Yes, I bore witness to that event. He isn't lying, people. He somehow got software to display diagonally without touching the monitor.
I have done quite a bit of programming, and that seems odd.
Look, my teacher watched me do it, and it started and I looked at him. I said, "Do I hit enter now?" And he said, "Yes, you did everything correctly. Hit enter now." And so I hit enter, and it starts going diagonal. And he just looks at that, looks at me, and just goes back to his seat and goes, "You know what? You pass. I'm not even gonna try to grade this."
I mean, okay, like that's probably the software issue. That happens all the time. Like,
no, I was the only one it happened to, ever.
Have any of you worked in Unity?
I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Atin, then you know what I mean. With,
Are you
software.
entirely sure you can work with computers?
So the thing that he
Maybe.
hasn't told anyone yet is that he is in a gremlin incarnate.
It's all my Helix phrasing. It just makes computers wonky.
No, Sneaky.
Just
It began
reinstall
long
Adobe
before
Reader.
Helix.
Yeah.
Reinstall Adobe Reader and you'll be fine.
Don't you mean Adobe Air?
Not that one. That one deserves to die. Anyone who still tries to use Adobe Air is a sinner and must be purged. On that
But
note,
keep
anyone
on
who-
listening to me, it's a good one. Anyway, as I was saying, I died and was reborn. The problem is that the world I was born into is one destined to be killed at the hands of its greatest hero. Or so I thought. More on that later, though. I'm just gonna keep adding sins every single time he does this whole, like, I'm sitting down
can you
at
add
a campfire and telling y'all a
Every
story.
time he tries to be Izuku telling his own story, he gets a sit.
Oh, it's
Basically.
rising. I love it.
A world infested by monsters of both the literal and metaphorical sense, where killers roam the streets and people got superpowers from the worst day of their lives. Yep, I was born into the world of Worm. To make matters worse, both my parents are deep in the Empire 88. I mean, real deep. My father's Hook Wolf. Well, I say he's my dad, but he's more of a sperm donor. I'm pretty sure the only reason he was ever around was to make sure I would trigger. As it turns out, he was wasting his time because I technically already had. But that's for later. I'm improving this, by the way, by making this in this accent. Because right now, if I just read this straight, it will read as the most dry, boring, and uninteresting way to start a story. I am not hooked in the slightest.
He's
by this
trying
first
a
chapter.
movie method or an anime method.
Well,
in
no,
writing.
not even that. He's like trying like the meet the engineer method from TF2 of like some guy sitting around at a campfire and boy, let me tell you a story.
You
But, I was
basically,
gonna say, but it's not even that because
it's visual. He's trying to do it in a visual way, but without the visuals.
Here, let me also put up 6 sentries. Because fuck you, enemy team.
Oh,
You can always solve problems with more guns, and if the problem isn't solved, you aren't using enough gun.
Exactly.
Alright, so we now, it's official. Isley is blonde. We now know one more body part of her.
so Isley is a blonde purse.
Yes.
no, blonde. Isley just said that they're blonde, despite not being blonde. Once again, continuing Isley's trend of lying about being pretty much everything.
So Isley
Yes.
has hair, and Isley is a person.
No, look, to be honest, at this point, we aren't even positive Isley is in fact an existent being and not just like an AI.
And we do know that Isley has memory of things that.
Despite
Isley
not being a
does
blonde, it doesn't matter, Isley. I have declared you a blonde, like I have declared your little brother Ashoda. Isley, here's the thing. Why are you applying logic to this? Why even? Yeah, no, Arn does have a point here, Isley. Why are you trying to apply logic to this obviously just... Isley is Dragon .5. Isley
Awesome.
the blonde chronicler. Indeed. We need to start getting some fan art circulating through this community. This...
The real question is, are we
The
gonna
community
actually
of
read this, or
6,
are we just
man.
gonna go...
Maybe we'll wait until we're a wee bit bigger.
Wait, you want fan art in this community?
See, Sneaky, that would require them knowing what we looked like.
No, that's the beautiful thing.
Real.
That's exactly what I asked Sneaky.
I don't know. I think
Can you
that
tell
one
people-
picture done by what's his face was that one guy who got super butthurt at me and left.
That's like every third person.
No, that one kid who drew us that picture.
Hey, Arn's gonna draw something. That's gonna be.
I have no idea. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Xenon Quark.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, as I said before, if you want fan art, fucking hell, I need to know what you guys at least look like.
You can use this as a example, right? That captured Atin perfectly.
Oh, fuck's sake.
That is not, and Max is not like that. I draw him as like my entire plan for the Max
What?
portrait.
Okay, I'm not looking at his stream because I resent him.
Wait, guys,
Let's do it.
my entire plan for your fan art was I was like I had this thing where Max would literally just be like this Pope but with wings, like he's coming from the skies, impaling Sneaky with the sword.
Oh yeah, Xenon got super butthurt because he was like, "You shouldn't be so hard on this story," and I was probably drunk at the time, and I basically told him to fuck off or shut the fuck up. So he fucked off.
Yeah, like that was my fan art idea. I would literally just have like Max impale Sneaky with the sword made out of books.
No, it'd be more like him trying to crowbar me, because that happened several times.
Or that could
No, do not bring Crowbar into this.
Do not.
No, Left 4 Dead. No, so it's this thing in Left 4 Dead where we would play lots of verses, and I always played the hunter because I was really good at the hunter, and Max would always be on the other team, and several.
Also, you were an asshole.
One key point in time, he picked up this crowbar and over voiced it. He's like, "Sneaky, come on out! I have something to give you!" And I fucked him up and killed the whole team. And so now I will occasionally bring that up and laugh at
Alright,
him
so
about that.
your fan art, when I finally know what the fuck you guys look like, will be an
Sneaky,
angel, an
scaring
angelic
away all his
Max
friends. Oh, you know it.
crowbarring a devil Sneaky.
Indeed.
While Atin sits on the table with the boy pose.
I'm sorry, I'll be doing what?
He'll be sitting on a table in the back doing the boy pose. You know, like, boy.
Oh. Yeah, alright.
That was that was the idea, and it wasn't the crowbar, it was a sword of books, but now it's a crowbar.
Anyway, blah, 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 blah. As you can imagine, growing up is pretty rough. Between being homeschooled along with a number of other kids of the 8088 members, because I didn't want to risk the kids being corrupted before they could indoctrinate them. Parents who I wouldn't piss on if they were on fire, and distinct lack of anyone who wasn't either a Nazi or fast approaching being one. I had only one companion growing up, my little black corgi named Sway, just to be clever.
That makes... okay.
Jesus Christ, that was a long fucking sentence. Mother of God. Learn periods!
BRB.
Periods don't exist in you know.
I'm not entirely sure where the little dog had come from, although I have a feeling it was from my grandma, who neither parents liked due to her considering the Empire to be a bunch of complete moron. To be a bunch of complete moron. Is that irony? Irony?
How should I know?
Well, you know, yeah, no, I think it is irony. The author's trying to call something completely moronic, but also fails at spelling completely moronic. So it's ironic that he is failing at calling something completely moronic when he himself cannot spell it. Yes, it is irony, now that I have explained it to myself out loud.
Excellent.
Moving on. And once outright laughed in my father's face when he tried to intimidate her. She then proceeded to take him apart with her walking stick and leave him tied up for the PRT to collect.
your grandmother, beat Hookwolf up with a walking stick, tied him up, and delivered him to the PRT, and gave him a permanent limp. Oh god. It's actually his way. It's actually gonna be his way. It's oh no. Oh no.
Of course it is.
Oh no. I'm getting lots of bad feelings about how this crossover is going to work.
You always have a bad feeling.
Other than that, she had a tendency of sending me books on mythology, mostly Norse, and runes again, mostly from the Nordic styles, along with what can be described as homework assignments. I thought it was a little odd, to be saying the least, but considering not have much else to do, I did the exercises she sent me. They were surprisingly fun to do. Anyway, time did as it wanted to do and kept marching on regardless of what anyone wanted. I spent as much time as possible away from home as well as ending my parents, and I was still loath to call them that. The thought was good, usually only his wife a company. It was during one of these excursions that I met someone interesting. I was hanging out in one of the many small, rather anemic parks that was scattered around the city in a vain effort that's not the correct vein.
Well,
to bring a bit of color life into the city. What?
Check the Discord. Got some art.
Oh no. Oh wow. Ye
Excellent.
fucking ha, I'm Sneaky, and this is some fucking shit. Fucking shit.
I mean, not incorrect.
I mean, you pretty much nailed it.
Hold on, let me get the...
Yeehaw! I'm fucking Sneaky, and this is some fucking shit! You happy now? You pleased with yourself?
I'm sure that he is.
I feel bad for my landlord sometimes, I'm gonna be honest. I keep asking Harry, like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? She's like, oh no, usually not, usually not. And I'm just like, really, can you hear me? Because I got these sound canceling pads I can put up if you can hear me. And she keeps telling me no, and so it's just like, I'm not gonna go through the expensive effort of putting up the pads. I can, if she could hear me, but she keeps waving me off, so...
Friends, American, not my countrymen.
Yes.
Lend me your meme expertise. I have been sent a meme and I don't understand it. It has something to do with guns.
Okay.
I'm sending it over to you guys.
I'm sure you are.
Mm-hmm.
How long does this take? Anyway, so blah 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 blah, reddish brown hair, hazel eyes, blah blah blah, bulky jacket. I recognized her immediately as Bitch, or AKA Rachel Linden, but something looked off about her. In most depictions, she was perhaps not ugly, but unattractive. However, this Rachel was super attractive. She wasn't conventionally beautiful like Glory Girl, but she was cute, in the same way a big, friendly dog was. I'm not doing a good job of explaining this, but it's the best I can do. Well, author, you can actually probably try a little bit harder, honestly.
In fact, author, given that you are the one currently writing this, you can do better. We understand there may be a narrative reason why you've chosen not to, but that doesn't excuse it.
The point of first-person perspective is you get a lot more detail. And of course, you have like a one-track mind. You don't need to think about what other characters are thinking, so yeah. You only need to on, basically, from there.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the meme. Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
What's this about meme?
So basically, the meme that he sent
is the AK-47. You know, the cat's the AK-47. Century Arms is the girl tracing the cat, and then it shows the After Effect picture, and it says Raz 47. It's making fun of Century Arms, which is an American gun manufacturer, that they call it importation, but they basically take the design of a foreign gun and they make it in America.
But isn't the entire point of the Kalashnikov rifles the fact that they can literally work when they're almost completely destroyed?
Yes. And they make it in America in the same sort of design and call it like the Raz 47 or the CRV 47.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
American ingenuity at its finest.
They're basically like troll patents, but with guns.
Alright. They're basically like the Chinese, but they're American.
Everyone has a fetish. Oh! You're talking about Rachel. I was like, guns. Yes, for some people, I suppose.
That's half of America.
Less. Anyway, so blah blah blah. Zwade liked her. Blah blah blah. She stared at the dog. She looked at me. She nodded at me. I like you. Keep him safe. Then she gave Zwei a scratch. That was odd. That wasn't the last time I ever saw her. I saw her a bunch more. Blah blah blah. Rachel wasn't the only one I met. I met a bunch of other villains and all of the Undersiders. Blah blah blah. Bleeding dogs.
Of course.
Blah blah blah. Watches Hook Wolf. Beat up the dogs for his dog ring. Zwei wants to attack him, but he's like, nah boy, we can't fight him. Blah blah blah. Rachel shows up. Blah 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 blah. Rachel's about to die, and I scream no, and then I felt something inside me snap into place. Not an omnicidal space whale, but the little dog beside me. And then Zwei's eyes flared up into red, and he shot forward. Yes, and then he shot forward like he does in the Ruby Train episode.
Wait, it's actually written.
Yeah, that's written.
It's not literally written, but the description of what's going on is literally what happened.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Anyway, blah blah blah. And then, to make it different from Ruby, a scythe popped out of his head at last second, and it was black and red, and then the corgi exploded, and blades grew everywhere. Like a
Hook Wolf.
bomb.
I am so angry.
I'm just not even.
What's your name? My sacred gear is Wolf.
Well, at least.
It's Moon!
It's Canis Lacombe. That's his actual thing.
Yes. Dog Wolf. Congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, it was written by a Japanese dude.
That doesn't excuse it. That's like scientists calling the European brown bear bear.
But that's what they
Bear.
did.
But they did it. And I'm disappointed in them for it.
I mean, technically that's what the literal translation is.
Moon. So Moon is a lovely meme. In which it was like, find out your wolf name or something. And
no, I think it was wasn't it your werewolf name?
No, something like that. So, no, it was your wolf name because Moon's a wolf. And it was like, it was one of those dumb graphs where it's like, the first letter of your first name, the first letter of your last name, find each on the chart, and that's your wolf name. But on the chart, at one point, there was Moon in the first category and Moon in the second category.
and someone's like, "My name's Moon Moon," and then a bunch of people start drawing fan art for Moon Moon.
No, they were like, God fucking damn it, my name is Moon Moon.
And the Moon Moon, the slow wolf. Atin Prolly. Oh no, Sneaky, no. What are you doing? Remember the Twitch terms of service and YouTube guidelines. Oh no, we're all gonna get banded from El Twitcho and be free from this cancerous tumor like fanfiction.
Wait, what's going on?
We're getting more paint fan art.
Oh, God.
Please no.
That's exactly what you sound like. Well job. Well job, Arn.
Good done.
Well job, good done.
I'm not saying it's inaccurate, but I'm saying fuck you, Sneaky.
So, speaking of which, there was actually a couple of jokes I had sent through Cruel to check to see if they were okay first. And, so because Calvin's gone, it has less of a funny impact. But, what do you call an agitated German?
I don't want to know.
Come on. You know you want to know.
Nope.
You know you want to know.
I guess you could say they're not in the right mind.
Yeah. Don't be such a sauerkraut, Atin.
I like mine better.
So did I.
This is why no one likes you.
Well, the other one had a slant in it, and, you know, that was just all sorts of problems. It was pretty cheap, too. Surly sausage. I'm trying to think of a good pun with bratwurst. He brings out the bratwurst in me.
Oh, just give it a rest, lad, and get on with the story.
Come on, my puns are better than this story. You damn brat, he snarled. What do you think you're doing? I scowled as I turned to glare at Hookwolf, growling lowly as blades emerged from under his fur. What I am doing, father, is stopping you from hurting my friend and forging my own path while at it. I grinned. Let's see what the dog god of the Black Blade can do against the Empire's mutt. I said, get him, Zwei.
Right then.
Okay. Do you want me to go back to my puns yet?
I'm still good.
I'll live.
The sacred gear let out a howl and sprouted a massive number of god-slaying blades before launching himself at Hookwolf. Yeah, apparently Zwei is a sacred gear, but alive. And a dog.
That's Ruby.
The Empire Cape barely had time to sprout his own blades before Inugami was on him. It quickly became obvious who was more lethal, though. Zwei was a weapon designed by the god of the Bible and had evolved to the point where it was able to kill gods. Hookwolf was an idiot armed with blades made from moral steel. Zwei's black blades made short work of Hookwolf's and drove him back, helped along by Zwei's sharp teeth and claws. Why are you getting annoyed?
Well, A, heresy. B, bad writing. Mostly the bad writing. I've gotten over the heresy.
Fair enough.
Look, I hang out with you and Cruel. Heresy no longer faces me. Plus, I know.
Wow, no, that is you captured the spirit of Nosehair perfectly, Arn. Well done.
What?
Who the fuck is this man and why is he here? Thanks, by the way. I'm mostly here because I'm friends with these people, and I don't know why I'm friends with Sneaky, though.
You're friends by proxy because of Atin.
Well, I mean, Sneaky, have I technically been upgraded from proxy friend yet?
Well, I mean, you are a direct friend because no one is friends with you through me. Me through you.
Well, yeah, but... Oh, yeah, no, I guess I'd have to ask Max if I've been upgraded from proxy friend.
Yes, there you go. I do love how Max is like, no, I totally met all of your internet friends before you, Sneaky.
I am the only one I can confidently say that is a falsehood for.
No, my ex-girlfriend's also, like, even worse than Max when it comes to that. Because she's like, no, I knew everyone before you. It's like, no, you knew absolutely no one. Yeah, totally, Aaron. I want to see your perfect art for Krill 2. Remember to capture his Indian essence.
Just use that one shit brown color and put it on everything.
Speaking of which, San Francisco is quickly becoming poo in the loo.
How bad is it?
Really?
I'm gonna bring up a map.
Wait, what's going on?
San Francisco is having a large problem with people shitting on the streets.
I mean, the city's already a piece of shit, so I don't know why everyone's surprised.
But is it brown guys though?
Did San Francisco become Germany all of a sudden?
No, it is not. It is actually,
White people?
homeless people. And Mexicans.
Oh wait, San Francisco's the one. Oh yeah, they've got the public toilets, but you need like an actual app to get into them.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like if capitalism had a maximum, that's where it's at.
I don't think you guys it's gotten so bad. It has gotten so bad that they are hiring people to wash the streets of San Francisco 24/7. Oh, this one's even better. Let me just snip this. To wash the streets of San Francisco.
Have you tried asking people just not to shit on the road?
Have you tried making the public toilets not take an app to use?
It's gotten so bad that they're hiring people with a salary of over $100,000 per year to be put on rotation with giant water trucks to wash the shit away.
Heck, I'll do that.
So how do I get to San Francisco?
You have to enter illegally through Mexico.
Alright, I'm gonna fly over to Mexico then.
When did the sin count jump so high? When we started reading this story. Sneaky has a girlfriend. On one hand, I'm not surprised. On the other hand, I'm deeply disturbed by the idea of being more than one. No, ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, he hasn't had a girlfriend for how many years now? 6?
Quite a while.
I would say, I too have had girlfriends. Just never reproduced. Probably for the best, really.
Yeah, honestly, it was for the best.
That's most of us.
Taking things further, starting a Skyrim save file?
Oh, you started a Skyrim save file together?
Did you?
No?
Is that like, because that was my friend's idea of taking things further.
Your friend's gay.
Well,
Turned out to be, yeah.
Yeah.
well, no wonder he started a Skyrim joint playthrough. Oh. Sorry.
Oh god, Birdie, why? A fanfic someone has worked really hard on and tried their best. Is this some fucking shit?
He's not
As
wrong.
we know, it's always bad.
Well, statistically speaking, yes.
It's always shit.
Am I wrong? I mean, most of the stories you find are shit because literally we just
Look, it's not even like I'm looking for them. I just go into the front page. I'm like, I would never read that. I'm gonna queue that up. I would never read this. Queue this up. I mean, admittedly, I do filter out for the most exciting of the shit, but
Yeah. At the same time, blah blah blah, he's beating everyone up, he's winning, blah blah blah. Vroom showed up, oh, okay, and then some blue lightning came out and trapped him in a cage of magical circles. And then his grandmother showed up, and she was actually, like, super hot and looked to be in her late teens.
Oh.
And she's wearing armor.
Author, I have several questions, none of which I want an answer to, but they need to be asked anyway.
So I think we can just put. Can we get a banner that just says Sigmund Freud is right? Can we just get a banner for that, please?
I mean, if it's gonna be anything like that, it should be the ghost of Freud grows stronger.
Just, you know what? I'll make a picture for that. Just the picture of Sigmund Freud.
Oh, okay. And the other Valkyrie is nicknamed Rose by the grandmother. Oh, wow, you're real fucking subtle. Okay, yeah, we're actually just gonna move on. I'm just gonna add a shit ton of sins. We're just gonna move on because this is just, this is entering the territory of I don't want to deal with it anymore. Yeah, that's a good amount of sins. Yeah. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna move this to the covered section and never talk about the skin really. Is that all right with everyone?
Yep.
Okay, so let's not do some worm. Let's instead do how about a Pokemon Ruby Cross? Is that all right with everyone?
Oh God, why?
Why would we do that?
Nice. Okay. Clearly, we're gonna get amazing stories here. Oh, here we go. Oh, fuck you! I live in Scotland.
It's not really a fan fiction.
Well done, Ard. Oh, okay. Pokemon!
It's a fucking van, okay.
Alright, so as always, the fanfic is linked in the Discord, and let us begin. What happens when you see your life crumble in front of you? What happens when those you care about make you abandon them? What happens when you can't even remember their faces? Ruby times Ash. This might be a little bit pedophilic.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh, I know exactly why this fic is in the Fanfiction Friday folder now. Oh, get ready for this excellent top-tier dialogue. Do you believe in destiny? I always thought my destiny was to become a Pokemon master. I also thought my family and friends would always have my back. I believed that my own mother would be there for me when I was beaten down. I was a fool! This is a betrayed Ash fic, by the way. I was in my hotel room. I had just lost the Kalos Championship tournament, and now I was packing with Serena and the siblings.
Idiotic Ash is betrayed by literally everyone.
Yeah! I'm sorry you didn't beat Diantha, Ash, Serena said. Even my calculations were wrong about her Pokemon, Clement said. You were awesome, Bonnie said. Thanks, guys, I said. What's your plan now, Ash? Serena asked. I guess just go home now, I said. Isn't your mom here? Serena asked. Yes, she is, I said. I'm just going to go let her know that I am all ready. I'll go with you, Serena said. Okay, I said. We'll be back in a few, Serena said. We walked out of the room and began to walk towards Mom's room. It was a little awkward. You see, Serena told me on the adventure that she had feelings for me, but I saw her as sort of a sister and not really a girlfriend. She was mad at first and sad, but I think she and I have come to an understanding. So what are you going to do now I'm about to leave, I asked. I guess I can go back to training, Serena said. I know you're gonna do great, I said. Serena sighed. Do you think we could have been something? Serena asked. I think we will both find the perfect one. I'm sorry you thought it was me, and I'm sorry that I broke your heart after what I said. Do you think we can stay as, like, brother-sister friends? I asked. Serena sighed and hugged me. I lost you all those years ago, and then you come back. You think I would just kick your butt out that quickly? Serena asked. We walked up to the door. Finally, I muttered. So this is actually a scene, this is actually a trope I made fun of in the Naruto Ruby fic. In that all these super convenient, like, end of dialogue exposition scenes just happen to end just in time for the elevator to stop or for them to get to the door they were going to.
Oh, good. Max is wondering what he's been missing. Max, that's what you get for not being here.
So, good. Everyone else is here. They're just not talking, probably because I've stunned them into drinking or stupidity. Probably both.
And I'm already stupid.
I should do a Cletty fic? Maybe. I agree with you, Birdie. I'll adjust the sin count. Yeah, it looks about good. How dare you? We heard. Iris? Listen to us, Iris. We are trying to do what's BS, Professor Oak said. What's he doing there? What's best for Ash or what's best for your stupid fucking reputation? Iris asked. That's enough, Iris. Samuel and I made that decision, Mom said. I tapped my fist against the door. That must be him, I heard. Jesus Christ, these are the thinnest one-way doors in existence. Apparently, these two were just talking right outside of it, and no one inside heard them. But the second they arrive at the door, suddenly they can hear everyone inside, and... Do you know how thick hotel doors are? Pretty damn thick. It's not easy to hear people just talking.
Having had to attempt to break one down at 2 in the morning, yes, I'm well aware of how thick they are.
Like, even the cheapest freaking hotels that you can go to are still, like, actual doors. And not cardboard.
They have a purpose.
Damn, they thick. Dude, American hotel doors are very thick.
American hotel doors embrace the American life of keep your nose out of my goddamn business.
I mean, that and they're gonna stop bullets sometimes.
Yes, they do.
Sometimes? You mean lots of times, lad.
Yep.
It really depends on what kind of hotel you're staying at, and the more upper class ones, yeah, they'll usually be metal sheets in the doors.
Yep.
Because reasons.
And
Yeah.
like then there's like the hotels at like the tourist spots. Oh boy.
Good luck getting into those.
Like even the crappiest hotel in Florida, it's like I don't think I can break in here without like a stick of dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
Can
this is
confirm.
like the Pokemon world, so like maybe they need thinner doors because
Maybe everyone's just maybe that's the secret in the Pokemon world. The construction people have just given up and just make everything out of basically cardboard and hopes and dreams because it's inevitably going to be crushed by a Pokemon within a month.
Sneaky. Or everybody's like, what? You don't need a super thick door. You really gonna break into a hotel room and the dude in there gonna have a dog that shoots fire?
Everything's made out of balsa wood.
I mean, considering they're ghost type Pokemon, so you can just go through stuff.
Yeah. Alright. Hey, sweetheart, what is it? Mom asked. I came to say I'm all set. What are you all arguing about? I asked. Yeah, Delia, what is it we were arguing about? Iris asked. Ash, sweetheart, we were thinking that maybe you could stop training, Mom said. Serena and I just looked at each other. Wait, what? I asked. Well,
Yo!
you see...
Yo, that's harsh.
Oh, for Arceus's sake, Ash, I'll tell you. Your mom and the professor just asked me if I wanted your dragon Pokemon. The old guy here said he's given every one of your Pokemon to your friends.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Isn't that like grand theft?
Disappointed, but like, let's be real here. I admit Ash hasn't won anything, but like, consistently placing top 2 or 3 is not a failure.
I mean, Team Secret.
He's also clearly getting enough money to keep going each year, so...
Not just each year, go to different places.
Also, you also gotta keep in mind, he technically did and was the only one to beat the Battle Frontier.
He also Orange League.
Yes, that too.
Not only that, he also beat Drake. Sorry, not Drake. Whatever the fucking guy was, the one, the Indigo thing.
Oh yeah, that was
The islands.
that was Orange. That was Orange League, mate.
In the Orange League, yeah. Which was apparently was not conquered for like a lot of years because that guy was champion for a long time.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like Battle Frontier is even like higher tier because that's like the champions of the Champions League.
Yeah, no, Battle Frontier is like, hey, all you champions who are tired of beating up on scrubs, come here.
Yeah, and he beat them all. And actually, only like a couple did he not beat in actual battles. Like I think like that was like the sticking point of Battle Frontier, is that like he actually like beat them all in actual battles instead of like learning some moral or ethic lesson from the gym leader and getting a badge for it instead. Honestly, like anyway. Back to the... Of course, every betrayed Ash fic completely ignores this shit.
Of course it does.
Which just proves that they aren't actually as big of fans as they say they are.
Also, I would also like to point out that Ash does have like several hundred Pokemon by the current season, Aloha or whatever. Like... He does have like several hundred Pokemon at this point. He's probably the world record holder for most Pokemon owned. Aloha, whatever.
We ran out of ideas, so we need to start remixing.
No, it's just Hawaii, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but they're like, hey, what if we took a bunch of ones that are like fire and make them ice and say it's because they're in Hawaii?
Yeah, I don't... Well, no, to be fair to the Japanese, it is fairly cold in Japan. And so if a Pokemon's like, I'm gonna be hot so I'm not cold in this cold environment...
Like different versions, like, like different bears is it?
Yeah.
Different strains of things.
So, like, being like, I'm gonna be ice because I'm in a hot zone, kind of, checks out.
I get it, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I really don't get some of the decisions they made. But again, to be fair, Game Freak loves the puns. Like, the dragon type, 99% puns. Why?
Yeah, I posted something for you and...
I'm just
I
saying,
posted your
they got so
signature.
desperate, they're like, we've already used the literal bag of garbage.
Yep.
Yes, Arm, basically. Can't forget the genocide as he trains his Pokemon. What is it I'm looking at? Is that Charles Darwin growing stronger?
No, it's Sigmund Freud.
Yes. Excellent. Hold on. I wish I had the ability
That
to
took
eye
me
flare.
literally 5 minutes.
What do you use for the eye flare?
Oh, I just found a picture of eye flare and just posted it on there.
Easiest method.
See, I keep trying to find a good eye flare
Keep in mind what I'm
PNG.
using. Keep in mind what I'm using is paint, so...
Yeah, I use paint.net. I keep trying to find a good eye flare pick, but they're all trash. Well, they have fucking
Hold up,
trademarks on them.
Let me upload it for you.
I appreciate that. Why doesn't Twitch have multi-line functionality, honestly? Does it really not?
Because the Twitch devs are boring and don't have any other competition to fuck with them.
Huh. It doesn't. Yeah. Alright. Well, let's keep going. Anyway, so... What? I looked at Professor Oak. Ash, look at it this way. If people see that I was your professor, then kids wouldn't want to get weak Pokemon? Aren't you like the only registered professor for the entire fucking region?
I mean, there have to be more.
I mean, no, like, not even in canon is it ever mentioned. Like, there is one official professor that people go to for Pokemon in each region, canonically.
Yeah.
Like, even in the anime. So it's like...
Apparently that's just because it's easier that way, I guess.
I mean, yeah, and it would theoretically make sense if your population was super low, which it appears to be like in Pokemon. Both the anime and the light novels and the games. Like, even at Goldenrod, technically the biggest city in Pokemon is fairly small comparatively to everything else. Like, it doesn't even have suburbs.
Okay, here's some actual, like, deepest fucking lore.
Okay.
Turns out there was a whole Pokemon war, which is
Yeah,
why
yeah.
there's so many small...
Yeah. Which is why, like, the age 30 men are basically gone.
Yes, except for Surge.
He was an American.
Who apparently is a fucking traitor to Unova.
Yeah.
Wait, what? When did we find that out?
Yeah, because Unova is the America's representation, and the Lieutenant Surge is from the American representation.
And apparently betrayed them and came to Kanto. Or
Or
apparently
he
betrayed
just
Kanto.
got sick of being like the only vet in America and decided to go to Japan.
Maybe that's it. Who knows?
Maybe.
I'm just saying, before you go accusing a veteran of being a traitor.
There are other professor scientists, but don't give out Pokemon. Yeah, like I said, I think. Well, both for simplicity's sake, but I think like the actual population of the Pokemon world's like fucking minuscule compared to ours.
I mean, the Pokemon world is also really weird in the sense that it literally has a world that never was. Because the Dark World is basically the world that never was.
Also, it has like mass extinction events like once a year.
To be fair, most of those mass extinction events are stopped by a 10-year-old.
Yeah, that's more reason, like...
But they still have
Is it
them.
called a mass extinction event when like a 10-year-old can stop it?
Well, considering that some of them are like time is erased, the galaxy is erased, God is killed. Yes.
But like, how threatening can it really be when a 10-year-old routinely foils mob bosses?
Well, considering the fact that some of them, specifically in the movies, like, the Team Galactic or whatever one, where they actually succeeded in deleting the world, and then like he pulled off bullshit to bring it back.
He's done some shit.
He's seen shit, man. Like, honestly, like a realistic depiction of Ash by like Unova should be like this PTSD veteran.
So what you're telling me is he should be Amuro Ray.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, let's be real. His fucking Sun and Moon version is basically just Jotaro's fucking skin and
Well,
shit.
you know why that is, right?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
because the Pokemon fans are massive weebs.
Well,
Well, I mean, they are from
no,
Japan,
but,
so yeah.
because the artist works on Jotaro.
No? What are you smoking?
Yeah, the one guy who does the Jotaro scenes?
What?
Yeah.
What?
No, for Pokemon?
Yeah, there's multiple artists for Pokemon, And some artists are specifically in control of very specific scenes.
Hirohiko Araki does not do Pokemon. Are you saying like he does Jotaro fan art or something?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was really confused there for a second.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
the
a
JoJo
really
artist-
big fan of JoJo, and so he does JoJo fan art. But he also he was in charge of those scenes with JoJo stuff in it.
Yeah, that
I
makes
think
sense.
it must be somebody who works from like Studio David, I guess.
But yeah. So anyway, honestly, Sun and Moon, Pokemon Sun and Moon, the anime is just one big meme, and everyone should respect it because it's like actually not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's like
I'm not saying it's
Look,
good.
I stopped watching Pokemon back in like 5th grade, so I'd have a lot to catch up on.
You wouldn't though, because each season is basically separate.
really is.
You're right. He drains the soul from a new girl every season, after all.
Actually, it's more like the girl drains his soul, seeing as he literally becomes level 1 in terms of everything.
All right. Good night, Arn.
But yeah, it's literally just like newer girl comes in, gains half of his power or something. He loses his powers more than Samus does, or more than Sora does. Jesus
he loses
Christ!
his upgrades when Samus
That's
does.
true, but I think the trade-off is eternal youth, lad.
Well, that too.
Which apparently is like really weird because according to the creators of Sun and Moon, it's supposed to be a soft reset, but they also make like massive references to events that happened in movies and seasons previously, and they also have characters from the previous seasons show up and do cameos, and like he's like, "Oh, hi, person from when my adventures in Johto," and it's like, this is supposed to be a soft reset, but at the same time, not in the fucking slightest.
I think they wanted to do a soft reset, but then someone was just like, "No, that's not how it works."
But anyway.
They literally had too much canon.
Anyway, so I'm just gonna skip reading the like actual dialogue and just get straight to the point of every goddamn awful part of this chapter. So, blah blah blah. I'm your mom. I gave him permission to send all the Pokemons away.
I'm pretty sure that you can't do that because based on the way that the fact they allow 11-year-olds to go out and battle for tournament money, and more importantly, keep their tournament money.
Oh no, they're basically emancipated in the eyes of law.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as I can tell, by the time you hit 11 in the Pokemon universe, that's it. You're emancipated. Like, if your parents want to keep you around, they can. But other than that, you're ready.
No. It's if you get a Pokedex and you get your first Pokemon from a registered professor.
Now you're a trainer then.
Then you're considered a trainer, and by being a trainer,
you know
you're
what? I
emancipated.
bet there was probably some weird loophole where they were like, yeah, we'll let like 17 and 18-year-olds apply to, we'll let like 15, 16, 17, we'll let them apply to be trainers. And obviously, if they're going to run around being trainers, we have to emancipate them. But they didn't put an age limit on it. They just said if you get a Pokedex and a registered Pokemon, you're emancipated. And they didn't ever think to say like, but like that doesn't.
Well, it's sort of like the age of consent laws, in that every region views how old you need to be differently.
No, I mean here's the thing. It's universal, pretty much across the board, because you can in every game you can always find like at least a couple of 10-year-old trainers.
Oh no, you can. No, I'm just saying, like, it's sort of like the emancipation, the consent laws, in that every region is like, because I mean, I know X and Y, I think it was, that you were like 14 to 16.
Yeah, but you also had a good home life in 14 in X and Y.
But that's what I'm saying though. It's sort of like, it's just generally when the area decides like, oh hey, yeah, you can go out.
Oh,
It depends on how old this is.
maybe it's
Right, but
the,
see, that's what I'm saying. In every region, you
But
can find child
Birdie does
trainers.
also bring up a good point. Is there is also Pokemon schools, and those kids also are let out to get training, but they're not trainers.
That's true.
But yeah. So I mean, it's really weird. I'm not even trying. If I'm gonna write a Pokemon fic, I would sit down and try and figure it out what it would work like. But we're not, so we're just gonna keep moving.
But since we aren't, and we never will.
I mean, I might someday.
Someday when we actually get paid for this crap.
Maybe.
Yeah, good luck with
Anyway, so, blah, blah, blah. Why did you give away all those Pokemon? Because it's annoying to be constantly seen as the mother of the wannabe champion. It's annoying. Why did you break up Team Secret? Because it's annoying to be known as the owner of the #2 team in all the world.
I mean, that happened, though.
To who?
That was because they didn't have a what do they call them?
I mean, wasn't it Envy? Wasn't it EE who started it?
No, that was a different thing. That was basically EE refused to pay for the
Oh
organization.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
paying
yeah,
for
yeah,
his
yeah.
everything. While they said when they made the team that this will be a team that is not run by any bigger corporations. And Eternal Envy said, "Oh, nice, free stuff," because he's a dumbass.
Yeah. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. What the hell? Blah, blah, blah. Mangia had the champion to her last Pokemon. No one has done that in history, but he still lost, so we're giving away all your Pokemon, but you can keep your Pikachu.
Okay, look, I can't say that I've read a lot of these dumb fics. Most of them have been on this show, but I've seen plenty of these. And this is far and away the dumbest one.
Yeah,
Like, the dumbest base premise.
No, honestly, I have seen actually decent Ash Betrayed fics. Decent, not good, decent. Passable. They died, but they were passable. This is honestly the worst Ash Betrayed fic I have ever witnessed. Not because of the plot or how he's going about it, because that's dime a dozen when it comes to Ash Betrayed fics. The way he's writing it is what makes it so bad. It's a single line of dialogue, them either yelling or saying it, new paragraph, line of dialogue, new paragraph, line of dialogue, new paragraph. It's just, it's like the opposite of that one no dialogue fic. This is just dialogue and maybe an action occurring every once in a while. More seds and periods, more sins, indeed. Anyway, we all grabbed our Pokemans. Ash, just go to sleep. You'll forgive me. Ash, run. Dragonite, use Thunder Wave. Delphox, Smokescreen. And then we all ran away. Ash, go get your Pokemans. Hello, Mr. Ketchum. Can I get my Pokemon? But sir, they're not healed. I want them all back. Are you all set? I'm getting them. Hurry up and Thunder Wave is going to wear out. Here you go. I ran out of the Pokemon Center. No, if I did, they'd be too weak to fly. Here, take Dragonite. Iris, I can't. I can and I will. I opened the Pokeball and Dragonite saw it was me and looked at Iris. You're gonna be with him, but not forever, she cried. They're coming. Thank you for this. And go. And they ran away, and he's flying away. And then he realized what happened to him. Everything's gone. All of my stuff is gone. Everyone betrayed me.
Not really. You still have access to all your tournament winnings, Ash.
I mean, honestly, like, can't he just go up to his friends and be like, yo, hey, can you give me my Pokemon back? And if they're, like, actually his friends, they'll give them back?
I was gonna say, he could even just go, hey, blank Pokemon, come back with me.
Yeah, honestly. Okay. Smash the Pokeball, recapture them. If they want to chill with him still, or just like smash the Pokeball and let them run away. Honestly, there's a lot you could do there. Like, Ash, you got like this is another thing that basically I've seen
also,
only like.
You're currently sitting on a Dragonite.
The other thing, pretty much every Pokemon fan fiction takes all of the movies as canon, even if the seasons ignore them. And
I mean, aren't most of them canon?
they're technically canon. They're just ignored in the seasons. But
Because otherwise, Ash would just be taking part in the Pokemon battles, throwing aura balls.
well, no, because see, the thing is that like they're referenced to, like in each, like some movies will have references to previous movies in like the seasons that they come after. But like the seasons will never reference them because the time frame's a bit like, well, when exactly does this happen? We don't really want to be too super specific on that because that makes it our job harder to write this story. So they're just like in a limbo state of canon.
I mean, it's a show for kids.
Yeah. But anyway, so point being, the fan fiction community pretty much takes all the movies as canon, and a lot of betrayed Ash fics.
Like I know stuff like with Mewtwo has been referenced, so like
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the Celebi movie basically took Ash to the past, so we learned quite a bit about other things as well. So if that's canon.
But yeah.
But yeah.
He's basically saved the world multiple times. Every single movie, he's made friends with at least one legendary who now owes him a favor for not, like, just for saving the world, right? And with all these betrayed Ash fics, I've seen like maybe one or two that actually use this, but like all these betrayed Ash fics are like, oh, he's been betrayed and he has no one to turn to. It's like, dude, Mew owes you a favor. The literal god of Pokemon owes you a favor. Celebi, goddess of time, owes you a favor. Rayquaza owes you a favor. The fucking protector of Earth.
Latios and Latios as well.
Well, Latios is dead, my dude. But Latios owes you a
forget about that
favor.
one?
Okay, you know what I meant.
Mewtwo, the strongest Pokemon in the world that is not God tier, owes you a favor. The fucking space and time owe you a favor. Like, the god of the oceans owes you a favor. The primal god and primal land god owe you favors. Yeah, we will, Birdie. You see ya. It's just
See you, Birdie.
It's just like you literally have pretty much every god of everything owing you at least one favor. Maybe multiple, depending on how you want to interpret certain
plus
events.
People like Lucario and Darkrai.
But is Detective Pikachu canon?
Yes.
Yes. You mean not Danny DeVito that should have been Danny?
Yeah,
DeVito.
that should have been fucking Danny DeVito. Jesus Christ.
But it's just like I don't understand the logic. Like, I understand you already have to be a little bit out there to be like, I'm gonna write an Ash Betrayed Vic, but then you like pay attention to all this, but then you don't pay attention to everything that would make the story better, but would also kind of destroy your premise of literally everyone betraying him, which I never really got too much either. It's like, really? Brock betrayed you? Brock?
Brock's like bro, man. He redefines the entire idea of bro.
Like the basically everyone else beyond Brock and Max, I can see is pretty flaky. Apparently Serena's like a childhood friend, so maybe not her. But like pretty much everyone else, super flaky.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Misty seems pretty into
I would
X.
say Misty
Same with
is
Tracy.
ironically
Tracy is
enough
pretty good.
one of the least flaky.
Yes, that's true enough.
I mean, for crying
Like,
out loud,
okay,
for crying out loud, you know what? Sneaky, here's a great idea for an Ash Betrayed fic. Let's have this kind of dumb setup where all his Pokemon get given away, and then he goes to Jesse and James. He's like, "Will you help me steal back all my Pokemon?"
Okay, that is actually a really good plan.
Yeah, like I just thought of that. I was like, they owe him at least one favor.
wait, who would be betraying Ash in that fic?
No, okay, so it's the standard Ash betrayed by everyone trope. And then Ash goes to Jesse and James and is like, yo, hey, you guys are good at stealing Pokemon.
Well, you're good at stealing everyone's Pokemon that aren't mine.
No, okay, look.
Yeah.
Black and White, they got actually, like, serious.
Yeah,
No.
I know.
The best thing is, they don't work for any organization because Team Rocket's dead.
No, Team
No, Giovanni
Team...
is still around.
No,
This is
Team...
not Pokemon.
It's
This is not
Pokemon Sun and Moon, Team Rainbow Rocket.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Team Gear.
And this is not Pokemon Adventures, my dude. Team Rocket's still around.
Anyway,
As much as I would love the series to suddenly go for Pokemon Adventures, it's never happening.
I mean, Adventures is good though.
It is.
I know.
No one's saying
You know what?
Adventures
You want to know
is good.
something funny? I told Atin about it,
Axe.
and he was just like, "What the fuck?"
Because
I'm
I
just-
didn't
I'm
know
just-
that Adventures got so dark, yo.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, "Yo, by the way, there's a 100% deaths in this fucking story, and basically Red and Blue are Sora and Riku. Not even joking."
Yep. Yeah.
That's not even a lie.
Yep. It's great.
I mean, there's a point where Red is frozen up for an entire season.
But anyway,
Literally a
so
popsicle for an entire season.
more blah blah blah. They're flying away. It's taking some time. 10 hours later, then some giant black bird suddenly appeared, and he apparently flew all the way to Remnant on the back of a Dragonite with 10 hours of flight. Which actually, to be fair, Dragonite can apparently go as fast as a plane.
I mean, it can go mid lane.
Okay, but 10 hours, Sneaky. That's not even enough time to cross the world.
No, but it's enough time to go from Europe to America.
True.
So I mean, like, maybe. I don't know. My main problem here is that Remnant is kind of like Pangea-esque. And yeah, I kind of get the whole, oh, yeah, because it's a Pangea, there's plenty of open space for the other land masses from whatever I'm crossing over to appear. And it'll just be like, oh, they never knew. But then you have to be like, okay, hold on. Stop. A, the moon. B, Pokemon. So the Ocean Grim just never leave Remnant? They just kind of stick to the shores? The ocean Pokemon just never get near the shores of Remnant? Like, how exactly is this working? Like, every exploration ship that the Pokemon universe sends over to that area just dies? Like, are we Bermuda Triangling this? Like,
Actually, no, because the Pokemon universe does. I mean, the Pokemon universe does technically have a Bermuda Triangle.
yeah, Pokemon universe also does have satellites. And world GPS.
Also, 10-year-olds doing things they shouldn't be.
I mean, yes, but they still have satellites and rocketry and world GPS. So I sort of see it. Dust, evolution stones, Pokemon are actually, humans are actually Pokemon. So, there's this continent of humans that use Pokemon-like abilities. Like, I can, if you, no, like semblances and aura, that you can kind of get away with, like, that's actually canon, by the way. Humans are Pokemon. You can kind of get
How the
away.
fuck does that work?
You have to explain that one to me, lad.
There's really nothing to explain. They kind of just dropped that bomb on us in a book you read in a library at one point about Arceus and the creation of the world. And about...
So what are humans
so
then?
they just kind of casually dropped that lore.
Yeah, they just casually dropped it like, oh yeah, humans used to be Pokemon, but then we evolved and they just stopped evolving. Yeah.
Surprised there hasn't been some kind of plot point about that, like trying to make humans evolve.
I'm sure there's one out there. Anyway, so point being is I if you like squint, turn your head sideways and put on your 3D glasses, I can maybe see trying to equate semblances and aura in the Rubyverse and dust in the Rubyverse to like Pokemon moves and evolution stones, because the evolution
I mean,
stones.
there's an actual thing called aura in the Pokemon world, by the way.
Yeah, I know, and it specifically doesn't do anything the Rubyverse does with it, but yeah.
What is this?
What? This is a Pokemon Ruby crossover.
This is America.
Yeah. And so anyway, they're being attacked by giant Nevermores. And then Ruby's at Patch, and then apparently the Patch just lets giant Nevermores hover around Patch, and
That seems like a plot hole.
I feel like Ty would take exception.
I'm seeing a major plot hole. I heard a loud roar. This is Ruby, by the way. Oh, look, a Dragon Knight. I was fangirling so much I didn't realize it was spinning out to the ground. I took out my Pokemon. Grimmar Pokemon. Okay.
What?
I took out my Pokemon. Bayo, get me to the Dragon Knight, I yelled. The Beowulf, or my Bayo, appeared and I hopped on its back and we rushed over
I'm not
to the dragon.
irrationally upset about that. That makes me angry. That's not irrational, right?
Not really.
No. No, that's not. Oh, honestly, the way I was describing, I was giving the author a cushion, you know? I was like, alright, I'm gonna ease everyone into this, so when it happens, they'll be like, okay, Sneaky called it. I was giving the author some buffer because I felt bad for how fucking trash this story is. And the author was like, hey, I see you trying to help me. Let me just bypass that by making grim Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all, syphilis.
Like, I'm not angry either. I'm kind of just disappointed. Alright, so we got about 20 minutes left. That's not really enough time to cover an actual story. So, let's go with, we only did a Ruby story. No Ruby. Harry Potter Avengers.
No.
This is from the just fucking dumb category.
I should hope it is.
But then Harry Potter will meet Gun.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Harry Potter and the Magic of the 22 Rifle.
That's a lot of rifles.
That's a really shit rifle.
And
This
yet
is
it's
my
still
rifle.
enough to
There are
kill
none like it.
Voldemort.
What are you gonna do? Plank them to death?
I think it's a fitting end.
Here lies Voldemort, planked by P+. Ricky gets that joke.
I sort of do, yeah.
Alright, let's start. Birds of a feather. They met at an age-sex location, American Sign Language location in Brooklyn. Come on, it says ASL! I was that age! I was there for that!
Listen, Sneaky, this is a Harry cross Hawkeye. Parody.
Yes.
I am not okay with this.
No one is.
Where they have both committed to learning sign language. Neither of them expect to fall in love with each other, but then no one ever really does. I mean, that's debatable. Clint Barton times female Harry Potter. Laurel.
That's even worse.
Out of character AU. Post Hogwarts. Pre-Marvel Universe.
Pre-universe.
Pre-Marvel Universe. Cinematic Universe. So, before Iron Man
Can
1.
you feel the hatred rising, lads?
I do.
I can. It's already been rising.
Clint picks up the basics of American Sign Language rather easily. He's always been a quick study, and he's always been rather interested in languages besides... Besides what? That's just where it ends.
Despacito.
This is so sad. Nosehair, play Despacito 3.
No.
Yes.
ASL is spoken with hands and facial expressions. No, I thought ASL was spoken with your feet. But it's a language all the same, and Clint is intrigued despite himself. Maureen, his social worker.
Hold on. Intrigued despite himself? What do you mean by that? Author. Because intrigued in spite of yourself is generally reserved for, like, so there's these things called traps. I'm intrigued despite myself, and I understand that's going to be clipped.
Done.
Anyway, as I was saying, it's
Go on.
generally reserved for when you're disgusted by something, but it's your morbid curiosity driving you onwards.
Yeah, more or less. So, you ready for more? Yes, I hope you are. I had to open my window.
We're
So
always
sorry
ready
for
for
any
more,
background noise. She organizes ASL lessons in subway stops away from his apartment. Accompanies him to his first class in order to make sure he attends it, and then promises to meet him outside, blah 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 blah. Current long suffering, blah blah blah, goes into the center,
Who's
blah
doing all
blah.
this?
Marine, his social worker.
Why does Clint have a social worker?
He mute.
Yeah. No. No, his mother was mute, and then his mother died, or something like that. Because Clint isn't mute.
I mean, he's
No. Clint Barton is decidedly not mute.
Huh?
I said no.
No, I know what you said. I'm talking about what he said.
Oh.
Okay, whatever. So anyway, blah 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 blah. She's Filipino. Blah 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 blah. He's 22 years old.
oh,
Why does he have a social worker?
because Despacito.
Of course. He has PTSD. Blah blah blah. He refreshes. He has a hearing aid.
Post tamales, tres Despacito. PTSD.
Is this just a Tumblr thing, or is this actually a thing?
I don't know.
Here we go.
Showa Barton.
Oh, please don't bring up Wing.
Just 1 week communication.
Okay.
Here's the reason I don't want to bring up Wing is because someone was like, "Did you know that there's a bunch of gay Wing fanfiction?"
Yes, there is. Please don't talk about it.
Gay what fanfiction?
Everyone thinks it's stupid.
Gay what?
Gundam Wing.
Gundam Wing.
Oh.
The one Gundam we don't really like talking about.
Yes.
There
That
are
and
multiple Gundams that should be
Called
talked about.
Quista and
Wing is one of them.
Xavier. And Igloo and Stargazer. And yeah, a couple more.
Seed, can't forget Seed.
Okay,
That
so
is-
apparently, the reason why Fanon depicts him as deaf is because he was deaf in the comics. Or one of his iterations, he was deaf in the comics.
Are you talking about Hawkeye?
Yeah.
He is deaf in the comics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for 14 years between 83 and 97.
Yeah. They made him
MCU did not pull from the 80s and 90s versions of the characters, though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, because otherwise Ant-Man would have been a wife abuser.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about that.
Okay, so yeah, that's why in Fanon he's deaf in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe because Tumblr, basically. Okay. Yep. But yeah, I'm not going to get into that rant because I will. Isley, it's not Atin, it's Mandalore 2000 or whatever it is, unless you made a new account.
No, I changed the name to Atin.
Oh, you're Atin 2000 now. But as I was saying, as far as I'm aware, his hearing problems are purely Fanon at this point. Unless you're talking specifically about 80s and 90s Hawkeye. Which this fic is not. Well, actually, technically 2002, 80... No! No! Technically speaking, this Clint Barton would have been born in 82. Which is the year before they started doing Deaf Hawkeye. So, no matter how you roll it, this Clint Barton would not be deaf. Come on, Sneaky. No, it's not. That's not a Tumblr rant. It's a disabled versus non-disabled rant.
The ones we really don't want to get into.
The ones I feel quite passionately about, and the one that Atin won't stop me from doing. Blah blah blah. Also, the fact that he has a hearing aid but never learned sign language. Unless he got deafened through combat, which I mean, I guess I could understand then, him having a hearing aid and not being used to it at the age 22. But this is the sort of thing that comes up with a problem when you're writing for Marvel and DC, is that there's literally so many iterations of the heroes at this point that you kind of have to start off with that really shit first chapter where you're telling the audience which version it is, so they know what expectations they have for it.
Because otherwise, I might might not be expecting Nazi Captain America.
Yeah.
To be fair, not many people were expecting that because it literally came out of left field and had no point.
And the comic was immediately killed.
No, it's still going, but
really?
That version was effectively declared not actually Captain America.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember Diversity in
because
Comics
it was like
talking about it.
alternate history or something like that.
No, he was a clone. A clone that took his place while he was going undercover or something, and then Hydra.
No, it was literally like it was an alternate version where he like stayed with Hydra or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was some sort of clone bullshit. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, Diversity in Comics covered it. I'm not gonna go into it. It's why I generally avoid comics. Too many versions of the characters. Yeah, that is a problem. I sort of liked comics for a certain period of time, but then it was just like... I think I stopped liking comics around the time I went in for another issue, and then it was like, oh, this is a completely different Spider-Man that is no relation to what you were previously reading, but it's still Spider-Man, but differently written with a different setting and different art style, and it's just like, oh, okay. But I wanted more of what I was reading previously. I'm too fucking bad. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really doesn't help nowadays. Now that you have also the movie versions, like even Batman has several remake versions of him in the movies alone as well. So it just becomes so convoluted. I mean, Superman has several remakes. That's like the only thing that Marvel has done right universally is that they really don't have any previous movies for their characters. So, and they
No,
just
they do. They've just buried them.
yeah, they do, but like not anything what they've attempted to do before. And then they came out and were like, all right, ignore everything else that we've ever made. This is going to be the new canon.
What?
Comics nowadays seem like fan fiction because there's no quality control in the case of Marvel. Yeah, the main problem with that is because they're hiring fan fiction writers. I'm not even.
Comic companies are currently very actively scouting fanfiction authors.
Yeah, they're scouting fan fiction authors and they're scouting Tumblrinas. And the other problem is that the comics industry is also heavily who you know. So if like one Tumblrina gets in, they're like, "Oh, you should also hire all my friends because diversity." And it's just like, and then they're like, "Okay." And then they hire all these people who also don't know how to write, and they're like, "Oh, you should hire these people because diversity." And so they hire all those people.
I would say, now, to be fair, comics initially started with a bunch of morons who didn't know how to write, but if you go back and look at things like the original Batman and the original Green Lantern and the original Superman, etc., it was really bad, guys.
Yeah, it turns out when you have people who don't know how to write doing a lot of writing, it's bad.
There's only two outcomes: either they learn, or considering they're surrounded by others like them.
Well, considering usually they're surrounded by others who are dependent on them for their paycheck. Is this good? Oh yeah, oh it's great. Oh yeah.
Exactly. So they don't need to improve their quality.
Yeah. It's kind of like having someone build a house for you, even though they have no idea how to build a house. It's like, the first house is probably going to suck, and maybe the second house is going to be a little bit better. By the third house, they might know what they're doing. By the fourth house, you might actually have something that resembles a house.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, comics come with a little bit less stake in the game than house building.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter to the comic writer what happens, because they're going to get a flat pay already, and then they're going to make more money depending on how well their comic sells.
I mean, Ironheart, for example,
Yeah.
was the brainchild of Tumblrina.
Which,
yes.
actually,
Let's
to be
take
fair,
Iron Man.
if you've seen Diversity in Comics long episode about Ironheart, he actually spins the whole comic into her actually being the villain of the series.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually it makes it way better.
I was going to say, I think one of the things that's telling about Ironheart is they've given her own series, and it's not doing great.
Yeah, it's
not doing good at all, because the people who generally read comics are not Tumblrinas.
I mean, for example, you got there's comics on Kickstarter that are doing amazingly right now that are just kind of thumbing their nose at this whole fucking mess. Is it Battletoads Blood Honey and Jawbreakers
there's just
and Patriotica? I'm gonna bring Patriotica up.
The thing is, all these fucking Tumblrinas they just came out of their Homestuck pages and they were offered jobs in the fucking comic industry. What do you expect would happen?
Oh, come on. Don't tell me that image has been deleted.
But Tokyo.
Here we go. So has anyone figured out why people donated to this? Just take a wild guess.
It has very, very big personalities.
Yes, very big personalities.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yes.
It's either very big plot or very big personality.
It's actually a very good story. The art style is really nice. No,
It's basically if Glory Girl got her own story, right?
More or less, it's if Glory Girl got her own story, but was also a god.
I'm sorry, also what?
A god.
I thought you said something else.
I mean, I can let this image talk for me. But yeah.
I mean, honestly speaking, I'm not
Oh,
even
that's
surprised.
adorable. Holy
Do
shit.
you know what the funniest thing on Patreon? Some of the biggest Patreons are hentai games.
Oh, I
Of course they are,
know.
because
Oh,
people
yeah.
make them.
Oh yeah.
People are horny. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I know. I felt Shad has a big one. Encase has a big one.
But
I know all these people because I've occasionally seen them do not porn, and I'm like, this is really nice art.
but yeah, no, he actually did really well. 41K to get the first issue out. I think it's gonna do well because I'm kind of really hoping it does well.
You need something to factor.
No, because I genuinely want good comics to keep going. Apparently this is their second comic that's coming out. No, they basically got jack shit for this. I'm not surprised. This one's even more pandering.
Of course.
I mean, they found a formula that works, so of course they're gonna milk it.
But yeah, no, it looks like people are enjoying this. There's been a bit delivery problems, but that's to be completely expected when it comes to someone trying to use Kickstarter for a comic distribution method. As a single person, not even a company, just a single guy.
Well, I was gonna say, I know there are a lot of independent comics that are doing great, like Sanderson did White Sand. There's another guy. Oh god damn, I'm trying to remember it. But he did this really cool. It's like a combination book and comic.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's longer even than a graphic novel.
I'm not surprised. No, like they're like, as with everything, when people are handed shit, there's going to be people out there who look at that and go, "I can do way better than this," and then they come out with, I'm not gonna say polished shit, but like a really badly put together salad where you're like, that lettuce is clearly unwashed, and that tomato's just been cut in half, that hasn't been sliced up at all. But you're like, this is still better than the bowl of shit I was handed earlier. So I'll eat this crappy salad.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, one more thing about the current comic industry is how fast they pump out comics.
Yes, that is. They're trying to do like a Shonen Jump levels of content.
The thing with Shonen Jumps,
And
like,
basic comics are not like American comics are not good for that.
To be fair, American comics are also worse than that just because of the format.
the thing with the Shonen and like the weekly updates is the author has to at least have like 50, 60, 80 chapters planned ahead before he even starts drawing. You need to have that much storyboarded because trust me, it takes a fucked up time. As somebody who spent approximately half a year to get one chapter out, it does a lot of stuff because the pre-preparation for the chapters is the hardest bit.
After
you
that,
also
of
gotta
course,
keep
in mind you can't be using too much time to storyboard because you're spending majority of the week getting the whole thing done.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's one of the main problems with the whole comic industry right now is they're trying to pump out too much too fast, so the quality suffers. They're hiring people who don't know how to write, so the quality suffers. They're putting SJW political rhetoric into it, so the quality suffers. And like, they're trying to pander to the wrong group. And I'm not even saying this like in a political sense of like, oh, you shouldn't pander to SJWs. And like, no, you shouldn't pander to SJWs because SJWs don't spend their money on products. They spend their money at Starbucks and crap, and not even then really, because Starbucks is doing terribly right now because the people they tried pandering to don't actually buy from Starbucks. It's a thing.
The typical SJW is the kind of guy who would go sit in Starbucks, use their Wi-Fi, but not buy anything.
Because they got their coffee locally brewed from a fair trade coffee stand, ran by the hippie pair in the back alley or something,
Yeah, probably got some rat shit in there somewhere.
And criminally overworked authors. Yeah. Yeah. Shonen Jump. It's actually, when you like realize how much work's actually going into it, it's actually kind of impressive how some of those
Like
authors stay in
the
there.
thing with Shonen Jump is kind of like this, right? Of course, the one shots, the original like run is done by the author slash artist itself. Then, if it does well, depending on how well it does, Jump themselves will put some like artists as understudies under like these people. For example, let's say Naruto, right? You could notice when the art style changes in like the manga. You know that then it's the understudies who've taken over. So like Kishimoto can just sit down in the back and just write down stories.
You also definitely notice when the budget gets run out of and they just switch to black and white pen and paper drawing.
Yeah.
In the
And
anime.
The best one for that would actually be Berserk, because when Berserk shifted from traditional art to
Right.
they shifted from traditional to computer, and the difference is night and day. It's fucking like.
Oh yeah, Isley, you're misinterpreting SJW. You are equating SJW to women leads and black people. That's not what SJW is. SJW is the vacuousness of I am female, that's my personality trait. I am black, that's my personality trait. I am Mexican, that's my personality trait. There's countless movies, books, games with women, black, Latino, Asian, etc., people in them. With main characters, supporting cast, villains, and they all have personalities that are more than just, hello, I am skin color, or hello,
Say, and guess what?
I have vagina.
Great characters most of the time. Like, I have no problem with that.
The Worm is not SJW because the main character actually has consequences for her actions.
And no, not just that. Remember we had this conversation. I was like, everybody like, it doesn't feel like, oh look, token black character appears. Oh look, token brown character appears. There is just a normal city with its normal people, except some of them have superpowers.
Well, I wouldn't call it a normal city,
But no, the Isley, you're not understanding the difference there. SJW comics, for example, Ironheart, for example, she is a vacuous character that basically goes around going, I am super smart, I can do the anythings, I am black, I am woman, I am the better.
Like, think about it this way. If you wanted Worm to be SJW, Gru would just be a guy that would be black. That's literally his entire personality.
Yeah. Like, yeah, pretty much. Like, if you want Worm as SJW, it would be like Taylor going to school and being best friends with Emma and Sophia because why would girls not be friends with other girls? And the main villain being Kaiser, the main villain, like replacing Scion and everything. Like, Kaiser is the final boss because he's literally the epitome of Nazism. And Gru being her boyfriend, and he introduced himself as high on black. Like, that's SJWism. Like, it's not SJWE at all. Just having a woman or a black character doesn't make it SJW. It doesn't make it SJWE. You wouldn't call Metroid.
No, because it's super hard to explain without sounding terrible.
Well, no, like Metroid, for example, you wouldn't call Metroid SJWE.
Exactly.
Oh God, no, of course not.
But that's what Isley is saying. It's because the main character is a woman. It's SJWE.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, no,
it's when the main characters. It's basically just another way to talk about Mary Sue's and Gary Sue's. Only it's a political version of that.
Yeah, that's actually the best way to put it. I'm a Gary Stu, Mary Sue, mostly Mary Sue because men are evil. Hi, I'm a Mary Sue, and I'm perfect, and everything goes right for me all the times, and I'm the best at everything. Also, have I told you how I'm black, gay, or disabled, or trans yet? That's SJW.
I probably also have these like this list of made up illnesses.
Have you seen my Tumblr page?
Please check out my SoundCloud. I have like audio of me crying and reading Marxism.
No, dude,
What job are you gonna
what else am I supposed to have interpreted from that, Isley? You said the signs of Worm being SJWE. It's not SJWE. There's no signs of Worm being SJW. Wildbow specifically says, if you need something like a trigger warning, leave at the start of his story.
That's kind of what made me read the thing.
That's what made a lot of people read the thing. But like it's not SJWE. It doesn't have signs of SJW-ness. I mean, it could be phrased like it. I mean,
You put a spin on it.
I mean, you can have a lot of red flags, and that just makes it real, Isley. Like, the red flags of SJWism is the stuff we said. The Mary Sue-ness, everything going right for the main character, no actual consequences. Those are the red flags of SJWism. And bad writing, but those kind of go hand in hand.
SJWism removes a lot of conflict. It removes actual character progression.
SJWism is the slow burn coffee AU.
Actually, yeah, that's a quotable quote. You should write down.
Yes, it does sound like that, Isley. But, you know, we're going past the time. I appreciate everyone who stuck with us to this point and listened to me rant a bit. Max keeps saying I'm not allowed to make political videos on YouTube. I keep saying that would get us a shit ton of views. But, you know, whatever.
Sneaky, we're worried that your political views will get us banned.
Oh, yes. God forbid I have views of freedom.
Sneaky, regardless of whether or not you're correct, people have been getting banned for it.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. And then we'll get super internet famous.
No, we'll just be super internet dead.
Maybe. But
Yeah.
either way, you know, well, see you all Tuesday. As far as I'm aware, I am not working to a point in time that would require me to delay this stream.
This coming Tuesday, I will not. I don't have work, so I will be here.
Yeah, so unless plans change, I'll update everyone on Monday when I can see the schedule again. But unless plans change, expect normal times. And well, we'll see you Tuesday because remember, there's always more, and it always gets worse.